So. Oops. Then. Wait, is it already going? Alright. Real real life. I don't really need it right now. Alright. Why can't I? Alright. So that all works perfectly. That's great. I'll just put this one here. What? Okay. So alright. Then I'll start drawing. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is just, I guess, just start searching for some references. I don't really have an idea of what I want to draw right now, so I'm going to search a bit through the web and look if I get inspired by something. I can pull this up, I guess. Most of the time I just search on Pinterest or anything that's similar, and yeah. So my Pinterest feed right now is really abstract, but I often get inspired by stuff like this. Wait, I don't know if I can see the chat like this. Does it matter? Okay. Yeah, I don't really see anything right now, so maybe I just start drawing. Let the pen take me away. I'll just do that. Okay. So, then I'll take my pen. All right. So, I think today I'm gonna go for a wider format. So, something like 3K. Ah, no, that's height. I'll go 3K with the width. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm maybe gonna start with a specific color, but I'll just take something random. Maybe something bluish. Alright. I'm recording the time lapse down here, so maybe I'll post that. And yeah, I'll just start. Yeah, so now's the part where I gotta come up with something to draw, which is a lot harder than it seems. I think I'll just start with a sketch of maybe just a face in a close-up shot. Then just a really rough sketch of just the composition, I would almost say, where you can just imagine what the image will look like in the end, and then just base the composition off of the idea I got. That helps a lot, a ton. Yeah, so what I'm imagining here is if this is that, then you have the person looking at this way. You have like the eyes here. And this is the side of the skull. Yeah, just a bit more contour here. And then you can already maybe paint the neck a bit away from the camera. So this way. But I'm imagining some yeah, maybe someday I'll draw a cat with an AK-47, but we'll see. Yeah, so what I'm imagining is maybe I'll draw some very luscious hair along the sides of the head. So I'll just start with some outlines of what that should look like. But I'm definitely no expert when it comes to hairs or to hair. So that is probably a really good exercise. But yeah, then I got like the basic shape, everything done. Maybe just indicate a bit where I'll draw some special features. But It's really hard to do right now. Yeah, maybe I'll just fill that out a bit so I can imagine it a bit better. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. And so I'm gonna draw a bit of shadows right now, which would be a very bad workflow, but as I said, I'm just doing the things right now so I can start imagining what the image would look like in the end. So I'm adding the shadows so I can imagine depth, the, uh, the depth of the hair, and yeah. So I think the most obvious thing here to do with the light would be if it comes from this way, which I think it would look the best. So maybe I'm just gonna, yeah, show where that goes here. So be a bit more shadow in the roots here where the hair begins. Yeah, it doesn't look so good right now. Okay, like this. Maybe show that it goes down here. A bit of a smaller brush. Okay, that's no good. Yeah, so as you can see, I draw the line for the eyes a lot too high. So just gonna start with a clean face, and that looks a lot better too. Yeah, and maybe add a bit of shadow in the neck, because that looks a bit stupid right now. Alright, so I got a pretty good sketch now, and what I think I'm gonna do right now is just add the light in the face. If I start adding colors right now, I can just expand on those colors in later stages of the drawing. So maybe I'm gonna experiment right now a bit with color, just to see how that impacts the drawing. The drawing, um, because the face is gonna obviously be the main part of the drawing, so I want to have emphasis on that, and the best way to do that is just with colors. So I'm just gonna try a bit of stuff and just look how it makes me feel. um, I think I'm just gonna do a really light blue face, so then the skin looks a bit colder, and I think that this would be a pretty good way to start showing how the painting should feel. So I'm gonna make the lines here a bit thinner, or just wait, I'm just gonna make them a bit more logical anatomically. So you have the cheeks here. the chin here. This goes up. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna remove a bit of the shadow here because I don't think it'll look that good in the end. Alright, so yeah, I think that's better. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is just add a bit of a sketch for where the features of the face are gonna be, just with a bit different colors so I can see it a bit better. So okay, straight down the middle. So then the eyes would be about here. Maybe like this, and then I can show the curve a bit. No, not really, because it's pretty straight on. Okay. Then I can maybe show a bit of the curve here, definitely. So I think the best thing would be to probably start with the nose. A bit like this. So I can really see where those features are going, but okay, that's really not in good perspective. So yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, okay. So I think this nose is still a bit small for realism, where I think this would be a bit better. Yeah. Okay, then just delete that selection. And maybe add a bit of mouth. But maybe I'm gonna start with the eyes because the mouth is showing a lot of emotion in the face, and I don't want to draw it to show that emotion wrong, so I'm just gonna start with the eyes and then just go off from there. Yeah. So if I'm drawing the eyes in perspective, I really don't want to draw them wrong, so I'm gonna be drawing a lot of guidelines for myself, because I'm not really trained on doing that freehand. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna close the eyes a bit to show that they're looking downwards. Okay, that's way too small again. Okay, maybe I'm gonna take a different brush if I'm drawing like this. Oh fuck. It's really hard for me right now to draw eyes. Most of all because the hair's in the way of it. Okay, that doesn't make it better. Huh. Well, at this point, I'm thinking how stylized this painting is gonna be. So maybe I'm just gonna have really realistic eyes with every feature and every nook and cranny, but maybe I'm just gonna have some simple eyes. So, I think I'm just gonna take a bit of something in the middle, but that just means I'll be drawing the eyes a bit bigger. So, there'll be a lot bit farther from realistic eyes. Okay. Still pretty big, pretty small. Okay. I think I'm just gonna draw the ice later. I'm not getting it right now. But I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do with the moth. So maybe just let the mouth be a bit open. Okay, that just looks disgusted. Maybe just add the top lip. Just round that. Okay. That's a bit high. So I'll just be moving this downwards to a point where I like it. That looks good. And then maybe I can remove some of those lines so I can draw the mouth a bit better. Like this, a bit like this, and this, like this. Okay, that doesn't look good. So what I'm trying to do is just to draw the mouth a bit open, but it seems like I'm having a bit of a hard time with that. Yeah, wait. I think maybe it's easier for me if I just do it without those lines, because they might even be the problem. Okay, that really just looks dumb. Okay, oh, oops. Maybe just draw bottom like this and then the top like that. Yeah, okay, so I just drew the mouth the wrong way, and that just shows a wrong emotion basically. Yeah, so that's how I said the impact that the mouth can have on the emotion that the person is showing. Yeah, so you gotta really look into that. Yeah, so that looks good. Just indicate it a bit. And then I can remove some of those lines I saw that can also make your workflow a bit worse in some cases. I think this, I can show a bit of that. Okay, so the mouth is maybe a bit in a wrong perspective. It's a bit turned downwards. That's better. Then I'm trying to draw the eyes again. Wait. That looks way better already. And then I'm thinking about where the eyes are gonna look. That is gonna also really impact the drawing as a whole in a way that, I mean, if the person's looking at you, then you feel like they're looking at you like directly. So it's really not that deep, but it has a great impact. So maybe I'm gonna have them look downwards. I mean, already looks like they're surprised by something. Okay, wait. Maybe a bit more like this. Okay, I think that's a great start for the whole emotion of the painting. Okay. I think the right eye still looks a bit off, but I can't tell why. Okay, so just draw it like this. I think it's a bit rotated. Like this. Then I want to make it a bit longer. Okay. Then yeah, that looks right. Then also draw the pupil like this. Yep. Alright. That looks okay. Okay, with the hair on, it looks a bit down actually. Yeah, I don't know what is happening here exactly. So I think the one eye was looking a bit up. Oh no. Okay. Where is this eye looking? What am I doing? So, like this. I don't know if this helps. I've never done it this way, but somehow this time my eyes look really off. And gotta come up with something. Yeah, yeah, it looks kind of terrified, like surprised, terrified, all of that. Okay. I'll just do the ice then. If the time's ripe. Right. Then the eyebrows would be really important here. Or you could maybe turn them this way. Maybe add a bit of eyelids here. And maybe the bridge a bit in this direction. Alright, so yeah. So this doesn't look too good, the sketch, but I think we can improve this in other ways. So to the shadows, basically the contours. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it with a bit lighter color. Just start really light. So the light is coming from here, and then yeah, just shade it like that. Right. So there are some areas that are shaded deeply in most lightings, like here in the eyes or the cheekbones, and of course under the nose. And that really helps add to that impression of a face. Also, it shows a lot of depth. Yeah. Start light. Maybe. Okay, now. Oops. Okay. So I think maybe about here I should start thinking about the background. But since I have such a monochromatic subject of the painting right now, I think I'm just gonna go with a just one color background. So my two options I would say right here would just stay in that color scheme, that bluish lavender purple range, or I could just go with a contrast right here. So from this blue I would go to like an orange, but I don't know if such a color contrast would do any good right now, because that just takes away that deep emotion. But I think it could actually look pretty good if I... Okay, that's definitely too light. Maybe a bit more red. Desaturated? Can I? No. I like the more saturated version. Yeah, that's great. Huh. The face could actually look great in like a more orange tone, like I saw right here. I'm just gonna try that. Just add a layer to color this, like a tone like this. Okay, this is not a great color for that. Something like this could definitely work. Huh. Okay. I think I'm just gonna do that. And oh, let's close my color wheel. Keep the color layer right here. Or I could also try hue, but I think that this looks good. Alright. Huh. So I could try to just draw on this layer, but I don't think it works. That's good now. Yeah, no, I'll just use different colors. I think this is a lot less complicated then. Something like this, but then I can play with the layers on with the colors and the shading on maybe maybe I've never tried darker color. Okay, this is really okay. So if it's a darker color, it's just shown. But then I just take the darken layer this takes green. Oh no, it's still in darker color. It does green, which I don't understand. It's with overlay. Okay, overlay works. That's great. I'm still kinda new with all the layers and stuff. So I guess I'll just do this process again, but it doesn't really take that long, so it's completely okay. Then just take a darker color. Maybe not that dark. Really add those shadows. So like this. Alright. Then maybe have a bit of light here. Then yeah, a bit of this here. Yeah, okay. So like a color in between. Hey, what's up? For the lips. the mouth. No, it's not right. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so maybe I'll take a bit more time shading everything right, but yeah. Going like this. Here a bit. A bit here. Yeah, just getting all the colors in between. Maybe a bit on the nose. Yeah, definitely. Like this. Yeah, the contour. Danke. So I'm trying to add some highlights right now, but it doesn't really work out for me. Okay, perfect. Just some here. That's a bit. On the cheeks. And then definitely on the lips down here. Okay. And some. Okay. So I think I'm gonna start shading the hair right now. That's just fix it up a bit. Make it a bit more round because it's really blocky right now. But I like the I don't know how to describe it. It's a bit strawy. I like that look. Fits really well. Just maybe I'll thin it out a bit here, so it makes a bit more sense. At the back of the head also be a bit. But now the shape looks like shit, so definitely on top of the head. Okay, so now I deleted most of it. But it definitely makes a lot more sense now. And just take all the layers and scale them a bit. Okay. But now the back of the head is really short, basically flat. So I'm gonna make that a bit more voluminous. Then add like this texture again, maybe with a bit smaller brush, so it gets this strands more. Yeah. Uh-huh. Like this a bit. Maybe one like this. This. This looks a bit shit. Then just make them pop out a bit on the top. That looks great, actually. Okay. So I got the shape basically done. Yeah, it's done. So now I'll be thinking of how to shade it. I'll do it like I normally do with an overlay layer, just do it in black and white. Yeah, so I'll be adding the shadows first. So this is pretty hard for me to paint shadows in the hair because you have a lot of small strands and big strands, and first you gotta think about how you simplify the shadows, and then where the strands are, and yeah, that can be really confusing. Most of all, often it looks pretty bad for me, but that's learning. So maybe I have a strand like this. Definitely like this. Then maybe shade a bit here. Alright. Maybe I'll make these a bit more a bit bigger, just make them a bit bigger, these shadows, so they connect more a bit. The composition, the shadows in the hair won't be so confusing anymore if you just connect those value groups. Alright. So now I'll have to draw the strands of the hair in the shadows, because of course they're there also, but in my opinion it would be smarter to first draw the darker shadows. That will make the workflow a bit easier. I'm thinking about grouping the values together also, because otherwise your shadows or your shading in general will just look really all over the place, not good. And because hair is so glossy, you will have a wider spectrum of values, so more lighter tones and more darker tones, and that pretty much applies for every glossy material. which also means if you have really oily hair, you'll have darker tones and lighter tones. If you have really dry hair, you will have just not as dark and light tones. Okay. So I think I got the shapes of the main strands down, which means that I'll just break these shadows up a bit with the smaller strands. Oh no, first I'm just going to make a few highlights, I think. So just think about where the light is coming from. And also just doing highlights on the outermost part of the hair is also gonna look pretty good uh, in most cases. Maybe a bit here. So what I meant by outermost would be, for example, here the strands of hair sticking out the top. Yeah. So looks really blocky and everything else right now, but you can always just break up the shadows with the strands now. Yeah. Just like this. Definitely here. That looks a bit wrong if you group the strands together like that. So just maybe like this. Alright. A bit back here definitely. Yeah. Maybe just make one like this. Yeah, that looks organic. just some darker ones here. Just layer that a lot, but you should know when to stop. Let's see if I know. Okay, so I think I'll do one more layer into the darker tones. That looks pretty good, I would say. Then just really add highlights. Maybe a bit lighter with singular strands, which sometimes looks good, sometimes it looks really shit, but I just gotta hope for the best. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks messy enough. Maybe a bit too much, but yeah, I'll just learn from that. Well, I just did. Okay. And I'll definitely make these tones darker. Okay, darker. And the mouth. Nostril. Just things adjacent to that. Eyes. This should be pretty dark. Maybe it is a bit darker according to the hair. Also, try to shade a bit of the hair into the skin. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Okay. And again a bit darker. Well, maybe I should really make it dark. Oh, am I on the wrong layer? No, I'm not. Oh my god. The nostrils right. Maybe just a bit more light. More highlights. Okay. Maybe a bit here, here, and here. And just a little dot. Okay. Like this. Maybe like this. Nah, that doesn't look right. But definitely here. That looks pretty good right now. But I just thought of something. I think I can just smudge this a bit. Just maybe I'll just first try it like this. Does this work? No. Okay, I'll just make a copy of this layer. Uh, ah, maybe I do really need darker colors, because I think that looks a lot better. Or what? I'm not sure if darker colors look that much better, but I can do this definitely. Just smudge the colors a bit so that it looks a bit more like one mass. Well, not like one mass, but I don't know, just looks better. I think, yeah, just the strands look better because they look a lot more connected. That makes them look a lot more realistic. Also, if you have any feedback concerning my content itself or my art, so please comment that and let me know. Yeah, well, I mean, I think the eyes look pretty cool, like with this just being dark, but I can definitely try drawing some. That could also look really, really interesting. Yeah, well, I kinda drew the both eyes different, but how I see it right now is that the one on the right, or anatomically seen her left eye, is a bit closed, so but maybe I should try just lifting that a bit and see how that looks. it's maybe a bit too small. Just... Huh? How does this make sense? Oh. Yeah, so the problem with my workflow is just that I can't color pick the colors from my shadow layers. Yeah, so it's pretty stupid, but I know that definitely I'll find a better one someday. This looks better, I think. Alright. Then I'll just draw the shadow of the hair again. Alright, yeah. That definitely looks a lot better. Maybe I'll draw the upper lip a bit darker. Should make a bit more sense. I think I'll add some darker tones here in the back. Oh. Oh, wrong layer. Okay, I see what it is. Okay, that looks good. Just add a bit darker tones all around here. add these strands again. Maybe a bit darker also, just them going around here. Layer it a bit here. The default tone right here. And then can also do this strategy right here to just do it like this. Lay out on the strands right here. Okay. Then the smudge again. Just do this. maybe it's really not dark enough. I think maybe I'm underestimating how dark the tone's gotta be. Because this one's really close to just black. Yeah, okay. I think I'm just gonna do that one more time. Although it's pretty inefficient from that perspective, but I want my paintings to look good, right? Then just smudge it one more time. Alright. Maybe this also has to be darker. Oh, I just took the absolutely correct color. Okay, it doesn't go that much darker somehow. As I said, I don't really understand these. There's oh, okay. I'm using a display tablet, so just a screen basically. And to be exact, I'm using one from Canvas and not one from XP Pen. I'm using the Canvas Pro 22. So, although I don't know how large it is right now, but it's definitely sufficiently big, so it's ginormous. Yeah, okay. I think this looks a bit better. About this. And maybe I'll just make the hair a bit sharper in some places. Oh, oops. Use a color pick. That should be a bit better. What? What? What am I doing wrong? Ah, I'm erasing. That's what I'm doing wrong. Just make some of these a bit sharper. What? What do you mean by that? Could you elaborate? Ah, maybe I want to add something inside of the eyes, but I don't know what. Maybe like some kind of shiny orb, but that looks a bit stereotypical. Ah, thanks. Maybe I only add the iris. Just leave this. Just try that, but I want it to be a bit more rotated, the iris. That does not look right. Maybe I just have to add a pupil. Okay, that looks promising. Okay, why does the second eye look goofy again? think it's because of the pupil, but I'm not sure. I think it's terrification. No, terrification. Yeah, that sounds right. That I think it's that. Terry. Nah. But if I had the eyes properly, it looks a bit wrong without eyebrows. Yeah, that again like this. Ah. Oh yeah, that's definitely rotated right. Yeah, that definitely, like that one point of highlight definitely has a lot at the end. But I'm still trying to figure out what colors I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna do that later. Okay, now wait. Oh my god. Why am I not doing this correctly? So this goes about to the middle of the pupil. So like this. Maybe a bit more rounded. And I would need eyebrow, eyelashes, right? Yeah. But I think this already looks about right. Maybe delete some of this. Okay. I'm really bad at drawing eyelashes, but I think I'll get it. So first like this, then make them a bit longer. This is definitely too long. Oh no. I'll do it another way. Just that's okay. I did it one time and it looked great, but right now it doesn't work out. Okay, maybe I'll try a different brush. Oh no, my software. Okay, I thought my software was crashing. That's not great. That's also not good. That's also not good. Yeah, I'll just stick. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, okay, I'll just try further with this one. The perspective is hard for me. But okay, now I think I understand the perspective. So it would be like this, just roughly. That just looks too pattern. Okay. 1 second. I need to look at this. Um, so yeah, well, I had this layer, but most of the time I'm better off with freehand, but maybe this doesn't apply here. But my problem right now is most of all just knowing the anatomy of these eyelashes, basically. I think I'm getting closer. They bunch together a lot more and are definitely more curved. Oh, thanks. I think they are oops, definitely going a lot too much up how I draw them. Oh, fuck. Okay. Then maybe have some here. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Okay. I think I'll just group them a bit more together. Again for this. Well, I could also yeah, I think this looks alright. Uh-huh. That looks better. Maybe. So then I'll just add the shading. I think I want to do the eye first. So I'll get into the greenish territory, I think. So yeah, just add a bit of color. Yeah. With the iris, you can really experiment around a bit with colors and everything else. It's really fun. Maybe a bit of purple here. Then have like a green here. Go into a little bit more warm colors. Like this. Really light colors maybe. Okay, but now I see that the purple doesn't really fit. I will do a bit more of blue. Maybe the value of the color just doesn't fit, and it's a bit too dark for the rest. Yeah, I think I'll do it a bit lighter. Maybe a bit more. Get a bit dark colors. Alright. Start out with the color first. Then I'll go into some different colors. I'll try to match it a bit with the warmth, the value, like the different eye, the other eye. For example, this would be a bit more desaturated, maybe a bit more yellow. Have like a tone like this going around here, and I have like deeper blue on the edges. It's more like this. Yeah, like I said, it's really fun to just experiment around with the eyes because it's really hard to do something wrong, especially mixing warm and cold colors and all that stuff makes it really enjoyable. I'll still try to match it a bit to the other one. This color is definitely deeper. You can have something like this. Alright. Alright, so I think the eyes are done. So the irises and the pupils. So now I'm just gonna continue with the eyelashes. Just let it be a bit affected by the light. I can maybe just just separate these strands a bit. Okay. Maybe make this a bit different. I think that looks a bit better. I don't know if I should have highlights right there. Well, I think so, because it's also glossy. Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe just a little bit here. Just a bit. And then these ones. Just do it like this. Oops. A bit of depth here. Then just the shadows. That's enough, I think, for the eyebrows. But what I've noticed is that this here should be a bit darker. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna add some redness to the face. And so we just put more like this. Put on the cheeks. Okay. Then on the edge of the shadows, has to be a bit lighter. Alright, and then add color to the lips. It's with the overlay. That always seems to work. Maybe not this time. Hue. What's there also? Okay. But this I have to do really careful. Otherwise it'll look really badly painted on. Alright. So I think I'm pretty much done. And also I just want to wrap it up for the day. So that's really nice. I'm just gonna add the beautiful little signature. Ah, ah, shit. It's gotta be great. Okay, that works. And 16, 11, 24. That looks great. Now for the best part. The time lapse. Oh yeah. I love that part. Oh yeah, that's a great idea actually. I think I'll do that. Just a bit of teeth. Doesn't really matter because I can't really go under the other layer. Really. Yeah, that looks a bit more human. No, that's too light. Wrong way. Alright. Now I'm really done. I wanna go to sleep. I'll just export this. I think 60 seconds is great. And then I'll just export this. And while it does that, I can... Oh, I cannot. So again, any feedback to my streaming, just tell me that in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it if you just did that. Thanks. I appreciate the comment. So, I think that time lapse should be done. And oh no, it's still working. I have this. Woman. Perfect. So I've got everything, but I definitely need to work on that workflow because it hinders me. Yep. Okay. Then I'll just save this. Call it girl with blue. And I'm done. So thanks a lot